The readings today are absolutely wonderful for the celebration that we have entered into, and that is a celebration of baptism, because we're bringing 2 new lambs into the fold. And we have said that we will, through our prayer and through our example, support these children and their families. What we hear in the gospel especially is the call of discipleship. Jesus says to Peter, "Do you love me?" If Jesus were to ask each one of us that particular question, how would you answer? What would you say back to Jesus? Would it be the same that Peter said, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you"? Because if that is your response, Jesus is going to tell you, "Feed my sheep, feed my lambs." And Jesus is asking of you to do for others what he models in himself being done. They're out in the boat. They've caught nothing. And Jesus on the shore addresses them, "Children, have you caught anything?" And the answer is no. So he says, "Put your net over the right side of the boat and you'll find something." And indeed they do. And what is he saying to them? He's saying, "Trust me, follow my guidance, listen to my word, and it will benefit you." And then they get to the shore, and what do they find? There's a fire, and on it there's fish and bread, and Jesus has prepared that for them. He's going to feed them as he asks them to go out and feed others. He breaks the bread, and he gives it to them, and the fish as well. And they all have more than enough. And then he turns his attention to Simon Peter, and he asks him that very important question, "Do you love me?" Because that's the grounding of relationship and faith that Peter has said, "That's what I want in my life. That's what I want with my whole heart. I want to have you and my life, my love." Today, as we listen to Scripture and we celebrate the sacrament of baptism, I'd like you to consider 2 questions. And one of them is about service. How have you served Christ's mission? What has your activity been in proclaiming the good news, bringing people to a deeper relationship with God? How have you served Christ's mission? Because how you've served it is really indicative of the answer you give. "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." And the other question, again, in the same light, have I taken Christ's mission as my own? Do I own it? Am I committed to it? And when we take up that mission of Christ, we talk about the friendship that we share with him. And we take up that mission with his own Spirit, and we go forth and we feed his sheep. So today, we gather together and we will be fed, each at that table. And then, filled with that presence, we are commissioned at the end of our celebration to go forth and to share in that mission. How wonderful is the way God calls us together, recognizing in each one of us the wonderful gift that he has created within us, and that gift to be shared with others. At the very end of this passage in the gospel, he tells them the same thing that he told them when he called them. Remember when Jesus first called the disciples? They were in their boats, mending their nets. And he said to them, "Come, "Follow me." And they got up and left. Once again, after his resurrection, he appears to them and he gives them the same command, "Follow me." And that's the command he gives to each one of us today.